Okay, so what do you want to do at the beginning?
A dance? Hey! Math! Okay, hi everyone, my name is Clio, this is Becca, and this is our math blog slash vlog slash podcast slash we haven't really figured out what this is gonna be yet, but we're getting there.
We'll figure it out along the way.
Anyways, so we want to just make this first video and introduce ourselves, talk about why we want to start this little media production, and kick things off.
Yeah, with a little Q&A telling you guys about who
There's
we
no-
are.
No one's asking any questions.
We're going
but-
to ask each other questions.
Okay.
All right, so we wanted to start out with who we are. We're both USC students studying applied math, and then we'll tell you a little bit why we like math so much.
Yeah, so I started out my college journey a while ago. I started out as a computer science and business major. Actually, like not related to math at all, but as I progressed through my college career and I like worked in multiple companies, sort of figuring out what I liked, it ended up that I thought that math was sort of that one connecting element to all of my experiences that was like most fulfilling about all the jobs that I did. So I decided to switch over to math and haven't really looked back since, except for every day when I have to do math homework.
Yeah, my story's a little different. I would say ever since like first grade or so, I wanted to be a math person. Yeah, I think in first grade I said I wanted to get a math PhD. That has since changed, but I'm super happy to be doing math in undergrad. And yeah, I came in as an applied math major, and yeah, never looked back except for maybe during abstract algebra.
Great class.
Yeah.
So Becca, what do you think you're gonna do with your degree? Where's this all going?
Well, so yeah, no, I have about a year of school left, and after that, I'm looking to get a job that'll let me travel the world, use my math, and not necessarily like use the math that I'm learning right now, but sort of apply the logic, because most of what we're learning we're not gonna ever use again. Like I don't think I'll ever really have to.
That's a completely fair assessment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
But,
I think
yeah.
one of the things that people don't realize about math, like, you know, you hear people say like, oh, like when am I ever going to use this again? That's a fair point.
You're
like,
not.
especially when you get up into upper division math classes. You know, talking about abstract algebra, like doesn't. I mean,
we can use some group theory. If we're
sorry,
trying to-
Jesse. Like, it's, you know, you'd be hard pressed to find like an everyday situation. Which you're at the store and you're like, let me use some group theory to figure this out. Like,
Let's add up my grocery bill with some quaternion groups.
is this an abelian subgroup?
I don't know.
No, it's not. It's not how we do things. But I think what math does teach is a systematic way of thinking that's rigorous in a way that I think a lot of people aren't naturally inclined to be. And I think there's value in that. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say math people are a whole different breed of thinkers. You know, like at my job, I work with mostly people who study business or finance or something like that, and just even from working with those people, I've noticed that like our way of thinking is just entirely different. Like,
yeah,
looking at data, looking at financial issues is
yeah, and I think in particular, like one of the defining characteristics of mathematicians is that, like, as a mathematician, you have to have a thorough understanding of the like formulation of the problem itself, of the question, which I think gets overlooked a lot of times in business. And I think being able to understand the question at a very basic level helps you address the solution much more easily.
Mm-hmm. So what are you hoping to do with your degree?
So unlike Becca, I'm sort of going a different route. I, for a while, interned at tech companies. I took a little bit of time off of school. I worked at a tech startup in Israel. And then I came back to the U.S. and started working at a fintech startup called Acorns, which is based in California. And then this past summer, I was at a Marine Corps training thing called Officer Candidate School. So I'm hoping that when I finish college, I can continue with that and not directly use those math skills that I've learned, but again, like we talked about, sort of using that systematic way of thinking. I don't know, like, do you have any additional thoughts on like why math is important, or like why you find it to be important?
I mean, I've had this argument with multiple people that they're like, oh, math is not directly involved in our everyday life whatsoever, and then I think it's like exactly the opposite. Like, math is involved in every aspect of our everyday life. It just depends on how you put a spin on it. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, also, have you ever seen an XKCD article, or sorry, the XKCD comic? That no. Like, yeah, I've showed it to you before. Here, let me.
You want to pull it up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
In the video, we'll like cut to.
It's fine. XKCD. I've totally showed this to you before. Comic.
Probably.
This one.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
You did.
So like we'll put that on the video.
Yeah.
But like it's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Like
yeah.
People are gonna be salty about that probably. Be like, no, my field is important.
I think most of our listeners are gonna be math people, like direct math people, not. No, yeah, math is like I guess the universe in its purest form from my perspective.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome to be able to understand the tiny segment of it that we do get to understand.
Yeah, and I think, like math exists outside of the physical world, right? Like it's an abstract concept, but it's reflected by physical systems.
Mm-hmm. And there are parts of math that most people think are the most abstract possible things that actually have applications that are found like years later. Yeah,
that's always been fascinating for me is mm-hmm. like when like research is done just for the sake of like doing research because people are like, oh, this is cool, like we want to advance knowledge, and then years and years later like we'll find like obviously quaternions existed
way before
long before they were used in like mobile applications, like with programming, yeah, exactly, in your cell phone, and yet they found like a pretty apt use there because it's pretty efficient to multiply matrices. Mm-hmm. I guess relatively, floating point operations, whatever.
Yeah. We got a lot about this.
Math, how's it work? Nobody knows. All right, favorite math class that we've ever taken. Becca, what is your favorite math class that you've ever taken?
Favorite math class that I've ever taken.
Are we gonna have the same answer?
We're gonna have the same answer because you're in the same math class. Abstract algebra, Professor.
Oh yeah, we never talked about how we met.
Oh yeah.
We should probably do that.
Yeah, it's like.
We gotta have an origin story for a superhero. You gotta have an origin story for us.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're the superhero.
Well. So like, just to explain, generally the way that superheroes work is there's the superhero, and then there's the sidekick.
Yeah. So you're the sidekick.
Okay.
Good. Yeah. No. Don't do that.
Well, yeah. Let's not think too much about it. I don't want to hurt your feelings or anything.
All right, but so yeah, backstory. Yeah. We met in abstract algebra class. He signed up like a week late. I'm pretty sure.
I signed up for all my classes a week late. Kids,
so
if I give you one piece of advice, is sign up for every class a week late because you'll save yourself a week of work in that class, and you'll have like plausible deniability. You'll be like, well, I wasn't in the class. So you can't hold me accountable for that work.
Flip side, just go to class in the first week, because then the professor will like you. Anyway.
All right, so anyways, our professor was this Professor Jesse Levitt. He and I are very good friends now. We regularly have dinners together. I've met his wife and his newborn child. He doesn't talk to Becca anymore because he doesn't like Becca.
He's a straight up liar.
Didn't want me to tell her this. So this is the first time that she's hearing this as well. I'm sorry, Becca.
I'm only crying a little bit.
I didn't want to be the one to tell you, but I just felt like I had to at this point.
Jesse, if you're watching this, I'm disappointed in you. And also, I want to see your baby.
Call me. Oh, my God. All right.
It's all being cut out.
Yeah, no, it's keep it. We're keeping it in.
Okay. No, yeah, but abstract algebra class, I was super lost for the first week because that was my first ever proof-based class.
I was also lost for the first week.
Yeah, he was just wandering around downtown LA, like trying to find campus.
You're not wrong. I don't know if I was even here.
Yeah, probably not.
Whatever.
But, yeah.
I was lost for every subsequent week after that as well.
Yeah, it was a hard class. It was really
Including,
tough.
but not limited to this one.
But Jesse was a great professor.
He is a great professor. He did
yeah.
a good job.
He
actually prepared notes for class.
That's important. Professors out there watching, please have notes. We notice.
I don't notice. She does, though.
I'll notice.
He wrote his own tests, which I was like super... That means a lot to me.
It means a lot to me.
If you take the time to, like... Because every professor is going to stress different material in class.
Yeah.
And, like...
And if you just pick textbook problems, they're not going to apply to what we learned the most.
Yeah, or if you just, like, reuse generic problems, like, it's not... They're not going to reflect, like, what you emphasize in class. And I think that, like, you know, that makes a difference.
Yeah. Even though there was quite a few mistakes on his first exam.
And second.
Yeah. But hey, we still
tried.
appreciate it, Jesse.
Yeah. And he made up some interesting groups.
Yeah. So, like, if anyone's familiar with abstract algebra, you do a lot of group theory.
Yep.
And he would just make his own names. There was, like, spiffy subgroups, friendly subgroups.
What? They were K-spiffy, weren't they?
Yeah. K-spiffy subgroups. And they all were actually real groups, but he didn't want us to be able to look them up on the test and cheat, so...
Yeah.
Good strategy.
Well, it's the thing is I would tell my coworkers about them.
And then they'd be like, oh.
Afterwards at Acorns, and he'd be like, oh, that's just like this. And I'd be like, yeah.
Like, oh.
Okay.
Thanks.
Great.
Would have been helpful.
I mean, yeah, what are you going to do? All right, so basically in math, there's like
3 main types.
Yeah, I'm trying not to like say that there's 3 types because someone's going to be like, yeah, there's other types.
Listen here. There's 3 main types. There's a bunch, there's infinite actual types, I feel like.
Are there, though?
Yeah.
No, I don't think there are. I think that's false.
All right, well, 3 main types. We got induction, contradiction, and...
Direct.
Oh, yeah, direct.
Okay.
Direct.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got it. No, it's this guy.
Induction, contradiction, direct. All right, those are the 3 main guys. And then there's also, some questionable types, like illustration.
I honestly think that... No, because that's not, an actual proof, right?
No, it is. Proof by construction for, geometric things. That's an actual proof.
Yeah, I feel like that's a subtype of direct.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, what's your favorite type?
I don't know if it's... direct proofs are fine, right? It's the first type of proof that you learn.
Yeah.
It's, probably the most straightforward type. If you use the rules of logic of, okay, if A, then B, and you're given A, then obviously you can prove B.
Yeah, often the most satisfying.
I don't know. I kind of, personally, because I'm a little bit contrarian and have issues with authority, I kind of like the proof by contradiction.
Yeah.
It's hey, let's assume this. And then you're
and you're
no, it's
wrong.
not possible. You draw your little...
contradiction symbol.
That's right.
Yeah. No, yeah, this is meant for people who probably have an interest in math or that just want to learn a little bit more about things that they probably would never hear about otherwise.
Yeah, I think in all seriousness, this is probably directed more towards a group of people that are interested in either studying math or are studying math and are interested in cool subjects. But we're trying to construct this in such a way that it's also available to people that don't have a strong math background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because we want to make some of this cool stuff more accessible to the everyday person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not gonna go talking about a certain subgroup and then not explain what it is. We want it to be,
or what a subgroup is,
or what a subgroup is.
I'm not sure. I don't know if anyone's sure.
We'll find out.
What is a subgroup?
It's a...
How do they work?
No one knows.
Nobody does know.
Nobody knows.
All right. What why we wanted to start this podcast. I would like to become famous. I'd like an audition on American Idol. Is that still running? I'd like an audition on it, please.
All right, sing for us.
Well, we're gonna have to make them wait, so they're more invested.
Okay.
So that's why I'm doing this podcast, is for fame and fortune, and also an audition on American Idol.
All right, good, yeah. I have very similar motives, I think.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe Dancing with the Stars instead of American Idol. I can't really sing.
You can't copy me. You can't take my joke and then copy it.
Hey, I was going off your joke. I wasn't
and expect it to still be funny.
Okay, so I don't know what to say about this one.
We're doing this as a public service for all you schmucks out there. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
No, okay, so we're making this podcast to appeal to the math audience. We feel like there's a real lack of mathematical material to watch in the world right now. There's like some good YouTube channels, a couple good podcasts, but
yeah, Number File, check it out.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's like all I watch on YouTube, honestly. Number File, Breaking Math, that's a good one on podcasts. That one's a pretty good one.
DARPA has actually a pretty decent podcast series that's like tangentially related to math.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good, data science podcasts.
A couple out there.
And, like CS podcasts, actuarial podcasts, but there was no...
Startup podcasts.
Yeah, there's no math podcasts that are accessible to people like us, that are not, like math education or like physics, that kind of thing. Because nobody likes physics, let's be honest.
You gotta do a lot of drugs to do physics.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs.
No.
This is bad for your health. I'm a doctor. Sort of.
Yeah. Okay, what do you like to do for fun?
I hate sports.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I hate watching sports. I like playing sports, even though I'm not very good at them.
Yeah.
Becca and I, we spend a lot of time... do we want to broadcast that we, like... No.
What?
I was going to be like, yeah, we, like, lift a lot, but, like, I don't want to say that.
Like, we're so broke. Like,
yeah,
we lift some heavy weights.
Oh, do you lift weights? I pick them up, I put them down, turn that potential energy into kinetic energy.
No, but you know what I've noticed? Side note, so many math people are also super into, like, health and fitness.
You think so?
Yeah. Like, and I feel like it's not like that in a lot of other subjects.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I don't know.
I think math people in general are just very perfectionist about a lot of things.
That's not how I am at all, though. And you know
about
this.
some things. No, you're, like, very, like...
Yeah, it's true. Some things need to be
like, perfect.
Just so.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
You're like that with, like, math and workouts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty anal about the workouts.
Yeah. That was a random side note.
No, but we, like, every Friday, well, for the last couple of Fridays.
We've been doing chest day. Chest and tries. What else do you like to do for fun?
We had a good conversation about this yesterday, though. Should we talk about the value of a pound of muscle?
That could be a next episode.
No, but it's like, this is like inside the mind of someone that does a lot of math.
Yeah, so after, like 2 hours of lifting, we were just like, hey, like, how much would you pay to gain a pound of muscle? Like, how do we quantify that?
I don't want to talk about this. It's embarrassing.
just a sneak peek.
People could watch this.
People are
side note. Right off track.
Good.
Have you ever seen those videos of people in the hyperbaric chambers, like trying to do math and shit?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so basically,
why?
Okay, so basically, like there's a couple different types of hypoxia, right?
Yeah, like when your brain doesn't have any oxygen. Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's when your body isn't getting enough oxygen for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
There's different reasons it can happen, right?
Yeah.
So you go up in altitude, it's one type of hypoxia. You get carbon monoxide poisoning, that's another type of hypoxia.
Yeah.
Whatever. So in the aviation field, they want pilots to be able to identify this. So in some areas, particularly in the military, they'll take people up in these chambers where basically they suck out the oxygen from the chamber, and it helps people identify the unique symptoms of hypoxia that they get, because everyone reacts slightly different, right? So,
Yeah.
for example, some people's like fingers will start to turn like blue or purple. It's called cyanosis. It's pretty cool, right?
It's crazy.
Or like their lips.
Yeah.
You know, you can get headaches, confusion, euphoria. So people people will just start laughing. Yeah, it's really weird.
Have you done this yet?
No, I like haven't ever had the chance to do it. It sounds really fun.
It
though,
does
right?
sound fun.
Probably not great for your brain cells, but
no, but like.
Anyway, so they take people up in these chambers to allow them to like more readily identify the signs that they're getting hypoxic, because like, you know, when you're up in the airplane and there's a system malfunction, like you might not know that you're not getting the oxygen that you need, but you might be getting it. And they have people do like math workbooks like that. It'll literally just be like, you know, simple multiplication or division or addition, and they like you just watch them struggle. Or have you ever seen those boxes that they give kids that like help them do? I think it's like a spatial reasoning sort of thing, where they have shapes and they put them in the holes or whatever. So they give them those, and people will just be like trying to like jam them in there, and it's like a star shaped hole, and it's like square, like I guess a peg or whatever you want to call it, and they're just like trying to jam it in there, and you're like, you know, that's not. Not quite.
Almost. That's scary though.
Yeah, it's
like
pretty cool.
Literally killing your brain cells.
Well,
worth it. I mean, you do it on a regular basis,
right?
Anyway.
Like, yeah, it's cool because then it's like survival of the fittest brain cells, and the strongest survive.
Is that? You think that's how it works?
I'm pretty sure it's how it works.
Oh, okay.
I do science. I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
Did you?
I know.
Did you get the memo?
I got the memo.
Okay, good.
Twice now.
Yep. What's your favorite TV show ever? Did you ever watch that show when you were a kid? It's called Numbers.
Yeah. About the math guy that's like solving all those crimes.
Yeah, it was such a good show.
It was such a good show. And I watched it at the age where I was like, I already knew I loved math, and I like just saw myself as him, and I was like, I'm gonna do that one day. Yeah,
but then like, you know, a couple of years ago, like recently, I like went back and watched a couple episodes of it.
Yeah.
I was like, nope.
Like it makes no sense.
No, it makes no sense.
No.
It's like they cherry picked like keywords.
Yeah. That made him sound super smart.
Yeah, and you were like, holy shit, like this is amazing.
Well, it's like, hey, that's not how that works. Like,
and you're like, you can't do that. So it was like a severe disappointment when I went back and watched it.
Yeah.
But it was a good show, and it did, I think, help inspire me to like math.
Yeah, I think it helped inspire me to be like, hey, I don't just have to become a professor if I like math. Like, people can do real things with math.
There's tons of jobs out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, most people, like, we get a lot of freshmen coming into USC, and at math club events, they'll just be like, hey, like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
And, like, you gotta be like, hey, there's infinite things you can do with this. You just gotta, like, figure out what you like.
But there's a finite amount of things that you can do.
Infinite.
No.
Depends how narrowly you define things.
Okay, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Because every person's experience will be a little bit different.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But yeah, so...
There's a finite amount of jobs.
Yes. Maybe. No, I feel like you can just make your own jobs.
Yeah, but like... Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Everything is infinite. That's the moral of the story.
No, that's
Thanks
not
for joining us today.
We're not done yet. I'm not done talking yet.
Yeah, no, because we got like 2 minutes of good material.
I'm going to have incoherent ramblings for another 20 or 30 minutes at least. Lampshades, how do they work? Nobody knows. You know what I was reading about the other day?
What?
I was reading like a list of like the top 20 startups that failed this year. Like the top 20 like venture-backed startups that failed this year. That
were like anticipated to be good, but then they never followed through.
Well, they're anticipated by someone to be good.
Yeah.
Because they got like a shitload of VC funding. One of them was like this really cool camera called Lytro, I believe. Will you look that up? Will you fact check me on that? Lytro. Yep. It's like it's a light field camera.
We could have used that.
And well, it doesn't exist anymore, so.
Well,
I mean, the cameras presumably still exist if they haven't all been destroyed.
Yeah.
Anyways, it allows you to capture not only light intensity but direction information.
Oh, cool.
And so apparently what that allows you to do is refocus an image after it's already been taken and actually play with the depth of field. If anyone wants to come on, you're more than welcome. We'd love to have
also, like, P.S., we're always looking for new guest stars to come on. So if you're
maybe
interested...
just guess.
Guest stars.
If you're a star...
That'd be great.
We're going to have an issue.
We're not stars, though, so...
Well, that's what I'm saying, is it can't outshine me.
Oh, okay. And you're not even a star. You're just, like, a little light bulb, so...
Hey, I'll take it.
Hey, but if you are knowledgeable about any type of math at all and you want to come on our podcast /
you want to share your knowledge with the world?
Yeah, we're always looking for people.
We're located in Southern California. If you're here, or we could do like a little telephone.
Yeah, you can always like Skype you or whatever the tech is nowadays. A little FaceTime.
Whatever the kids are using.
Yeah. So,
you're getting cut from the team. Sorry.
Alright, to start out, just be like,
hi, I'm Clio.
And I'm Becca.
And this is...
We don't have a name yet.
The as of yet unnamed podcast / vlog / it's not even a vlog because it's not like a
no, it's
video
not like about
log.
us. No, yeah, it's like...
It's about math. But what do you call something that's about math?
Vlog.
Boring. That's what you call it.
Math.
Did you see? I made a joke.
Yeah.
It was funny. Pause for dramatic effect.
Thanks for joining us today. I hope you guys got to know us a little bit.
And then...
And I hope you're looking forward to our upcoming episodes. We got some cool stuff coming up.
Because I sure as hell am not.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Or not. Maybe not.
We will.
Well...